Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share.
Scrub Club show, where nurses meet purpose, power, and real conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Charlene Harada Womana, better known as the Nursologist, and tonight we're proving that nurses can do anything we put our minds to. Welcome to the Blue Scrub Club show, where nurses meet purpose, power, and real conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Charlene Harada Womana, better known. Can you hear me? Hello.
You're good on our end.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you the whole time.
So she's telling me she can't hear me. I'm sorry. I'm going to start over.
Yes, we can hear her.
Welcome to the Blue Scrub Club show, where nurses meet purpose, power, and real conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Charlene Harada, also known as Raven got me.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is going to be my last start over. I'm going to have to start over.
Yeah, you can fix her. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Blue Scrub Club show, where nurses meet purpose, power, and real conversations. I'm your host, Dr. Charlene Harada Womana, also known as the Nursologist. And tonight, we're proving that nurses can do anything they put their minds to. This is more than a show. This is a movement. From license to legacy, nurses building their own table. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hey,
Hi,
doing
wonderful.
well. Great.
Yes, I just want to thank you, ladies, for being here today. We're going to be doing a lot of talking, and we're basically going to talk about how you ladies have went from license to legacy and building your own tables.
Yes.
So, if you could tell me, Miss Lenore, a little bit about how you got started into this,
Into
into into um, into the healthcare concierge service, and but first off, let me back up a little bit.
okay.
Let's start off about your LPN only group. Let's start there. That would be a good segment to start at.
Okay, yes. So 2020, I actually started the LPNs only group because I had a lot of LPNs feeling like they were only stuck to work in rehab, home health, nursing home, skilled nursing. And so at the time of 2020, I was working remotely for an insurance company, and I was giving a lot of nurses, all nurses, inspiration and ideas about how to transition from the bedside and get into other roles of nursing. And so I decided to it was a lot of LPNs coming onto my platform on YouTube. So I decided to just make a group for LPNs to show them it's a lot we can do as LPNs away from the bedside and at the bedside. And that's the name of
Absolutely.
it.
Yes, and I'm an LPN as well. I've been an LPN for 26 years. I've never worked in a nursing home, long-term care, any of that. When I graduated, I started with pediatric home care, and
Same.
still to today, I'm still in pediatric home care.
Oh, I
That's
love the babies too.
awesome.
I love the baby. I started at P and P's as well.
What I always say is the reason why I did peds was because that was the only profession where I could play all day and didn't get me in trouble.
That is true. That is so cute. That's true.
Okay, let's Miss Victoria, can you tell me a little bit about how you got started in nursing?
Yes, ma'am. So, again, everyone, my name is Victoria Ash. I am from Tallahassee, Florida. And one of the ways and the reasons of how I got introduced to nursing was the biggest HBCU, I like to call it, in the land
Yes.
just so happens to be Florida A&M University, okay? And I think just as a little girl going to the parades during homecoming time, I just had this zeal to see the nurses, and they even participated in the parade with the scrubs on. And I thought, you know what? I can see myself walking with that good stride and that pep in my step, right? Not only just being the outward beauty, but also having that knowledge within. And so I kind of took that and ran with it. And then things I dealt with seeing with my grandfather, he got sick and ended up in the hospital. And I just ultimately just saw how well the nurses treated him. And I said, I want to be that one day. And that's what kind of got me right into nursing.
Oh, wow, that is excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay. Miss Jacoby, did I say that right?
No, ma'am, but you were close. It's Janobia.
Janobia. I'm gonna get it
I
right.
get it all the time. Don't worry, I get it all the time.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey as well?
My journey. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. They
That's
want to be part
okay.
of the
They want to
show.
talk too.
But my journey, it started as a little girl. I used to always watch those stories of moms delivering babies, and I just always been fascinated with birth. Initially, I wanted to be an OBGYN. However, during college, I did have my beautiful daughter who is now in college, so I pivoted. And so I was no longer going to be an OBGYN. I was going to be a nurse for work in labor and delivery. So most of my career, I have been in labor and delivery. I have worked all over the United States, and I've delivered been part of the deliveries of more than 5,000 births. And that's my passion, and I've been advocating for mommies across the United States forever. Building systems that's going to benefit mommies has just always been a passion of mine.
Yes.
Wow. I'd like to thank you ladies for coming on the show, sharing a little part of your journey and your legacy that's going to be living on forever. Yes. And I am just, these are not just nurses. These are builders. You ladies are builders. You are building a system that's really going to work and really going to help our community be able to have all the services that they need in one location. That's the great thing about today. So now we're going to move on a little bit. What I would like to talk about now is, can you tell me what concierge nursing is about? I mean, I'm going to leave it open for whoever want to jump in.
Y'all gonna look at me to jump in. Oh, well, I'll go ahead and take the lead. It's been my vision. I am a visionary person, and it's one thing that I notice is I'm always noticing the gaps in care. And it doesn't matter what specialty it is, I'm able to identify that gap. And most of the time, people want to focus on one gap, but I'm an innovator, and I want to combine all those gaps so we can be wholesome. So concierge, what we're building right now is a system that's going to actually pretty much take over managing health for the patient. That's something that, as I'm in leadership, one thing that we forget about is that everyday people don't have administrators. Mm-hmm. So, and you're telling them to do this, this, and this, and they're not able to organize it. And so we want to take that off of their hands by building a system. And I'm going to let y'all go ahead since y'all put me on.
Okay, now someone say the name of your business.
Coterie Health
Concierge.
Okay, so how did you turn this vision into a business, Miss Victoria?
Yes. So how did we turn this vision into a business? So honestly, it just was a lot of communication and just talking amongst us three. Mm-hmm. And we just sat down one day and said, you know what, look, guys, we really have to do something. And the funny thing about it is we were initially going in another direction with another business dealing more so with just women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we, the Holy Spirit just spoke to us and said, hey, you need to pivot. And we pivoted immediately. And when we pivoted, it created this business right here, Coterie Health Concierge. So
bigger.
Yes.
Way bigger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. What was the mindset that had you all to shift from the one service that you wanted to get into, and now, I want to just let nurses know that they don't have to place themselves in a box and stick with that.
Yes,
I say it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I want them to know that they can pivot, and if one idea doesn't work, then you can always pivot and broaden that idea.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. That's the purpose of today. And one thing is for sure, I wanted to highlight you ladies because I have been so excited ever since I saw Lenore post, and she said that she was coming up with this concierge. And I was so excited. I was like getting all excited.
We been excited too, girl.
Yes.
And then she was like,
we need that energy. Yes.
Well, you need to come on the show. You need to come on the show. She said, okay, well, I'll wait. And I'm sitting here patiently. So the first 4 shows, I just talked on those shows. And I wanted to have a guest on the show that was going to set the stage for the Blue Scrub Club, because this is not just a show. This is to let nurses know that when they need to pivot, they can always count on someone else.
Always.
And you ladies are definitely the beginning of what I say that's going to happen all over all over the world in different
Amen.
states.
Yes,
Amen.
definitely.
Correct.
Internationally,
Internationally,
Yes,
you're right.
yes.
Globally.
Now, being nurse leaders, innovators, and CEOs, you know, they're always talking about how we are always alone. Do you guys feel like you're alone out there in the entrepreneur world?
Definitely not. No.
Absolutely not.
No.
It's a whole
It's so many
community.
people. It's a huge community. It's so
Yes.
many people that look like us that's doing it. It's actually a lot of nurse entrepreneurs
Yeah.
out here as well
Mm-hmm.
that's using their passion and creating something, creating a table and filling a gap where they see a problem. Because as nurses, we see problems all the time, not just with
Right.
our patients, with healthcare, with administration, but also with the family. And that's where we come in and coordinate and bring everything together. So, yeah, I
Okay.
definitely don't feel alone. Yeah.
Okay. Can y'all tell me a little bit about what type of services? Tell me a little bit about your business, but not go into in depth. But tell me a little bit about your business and how is this going to help the community?
Well, like I was saying with the coordinating, Janobia spoke on the managing part because everyone doesn't have an administrator, but then you have the coordinating. So what happens with grandma and grandpa when they need all of their physicians and specialists to be on the same page? That's where we come in and we fill in that gap and we coordinate all their appointments for them. So they're on the same page so that the doctors know what one doctor is doing and the other is doing. And so we have coordination.
And another thing too, I just want to piggyback off of what Lorna said. We also can provide just giving patients the understanding of what they're looking at. So when they get their lab work, we can look at the labs and say, oh, you know, maybe your red blood cells are showing this, or your creatinine is showing this. So we can break that down better for patients and their families so that they'll be able to better understand their health in the direction that they're going.
Yes.
And let's not forget that we're also integrating dental. That's usually something that's always separated.
Yes.
But you got to treat the whole body, and they all have to talk to each other. So we do have some dentists on board with us to navigate that system for us.
Okay. Victoria, I see that you are a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner.
Yes, ma'am.
And how does that fit into this role?
Yes, ma'am. So with my profession, that fits into this role because a lot of times what I see on a day-to-day basis is that mental health aspect or that mental health provider or psychiatrist or even sometimes bringing in that primary care, that aspect is not tied in with their other care. So it's almost like I see the mental health out on a limb by itself, and then I see primary care and that stuff all together. But the mental health aspect sometimes can get forgotten, I like to say. And I just try to make sure, hey, look, all of this is what creates the whole person. So we have to look at the whole person in its totality, not just the physical, but also the mental as well.
Okay, what advice do you have for nurses who want to advance their education and step into a leadership role? This is still for Miss Victoria.
Yes. So what advice I would have for nurses who would like to step into that leadership role? I would say, you know, if you can do some type of shadowing, maybe someone you've worked with previously maybe has more of a leadership role, try to work with them and see what their day-to-day looks like. Even try to get maybe like a PRN position to try to figure out your likes or your dislikes. Maybe you want to advance the psych, or maybe you want to do family, or whatever you want to do. I always say try to get some experience.
Okay. Now, Miss Lorna, now here's your questions. As an LPN, what inspired you to step beyond traditional roles into entrepreneurship?
Honestly, my lifestyle did. It forced me to step away and broaden and leverage in my license. So I have a lot of passions, but because of lack of support, then I had to find, as nurses, you know, we work very long hours, unfortunately. And so having kids, I wasn't able, that wasn't conducive to my schedule. And so I started stepping into looking into areas of nursing where it worked better. So that's where I went into home visits and dabbled and dabbled into instructing, being an instructor for CNAs and medical assistants, as well as hospice and other fields. And I taught that I started doing, videos and talking to nurses like, hey, we can do this, we can do that. You're not just stuck in one box, as you said earlier. So that's actually what led me to that.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to leave here for the LPNs to encourage them to go into entrepreneurship, or at least find out what their niche is?
Right. Follow your passion. A lot of times your niche is in your passion. It's in that gift, the thing that you talk about all the time, that you see that, man, I want to fix that. I hate this. That's it right there. And tone into that and lean into that and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Now I need to figure out how to do it and reach out to people, such as myself, like how I'm encouraging and trying to help other LPNs. But that's how I would encourage them to do it.
Okay, and I know I'm gonna say this wrong, and I'm gonna say it anyway because I just don't have it.
Used to it.
Come on, help me out here. What
it's
is
Janobia.
Janobia.
Yes,
okay, Miss Janobia, how has your background in obstetrics and women's health influenced your approach in concierge nursing?
It always starts with the mom. Think about it with concierge. What does mommy do? She take care of the whole household. Mm-hmm. So I take that same principle and apply it to concierge.
Mm-hmm. All right. How does concierge nursing improve patient outcome compared to traditional care models?
Well, that's simple. It's usually get lost in traditional care. They don't communicate.
And so there go the gap.
So now,
right just fall down the cracks.
So now with concierge services for the mom and the baby, now they can be taken care of and being sure that they're both being seen and following up through with their primary care providers, correct?
Correct. And that can be applied to any specialty because we're not just limited to just moms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. What impact do you hope to make for women families through concierge services?
Whole life to be taken care of, not just fragmented, because our lives are so fragmented. So this is going to solve the fragmentation, especially when it comes to healthcare.
Okay. What did it look like for each of you to step back, listen, and surrender before building this? Because, y'all all have some fascinating specialties. And, so what did y'all have any aha moments? Or...
that's why we reacting like this. Yes.
I want to go first. Okay, I'll go first. So for me, right? So even as a psych NP, if I feel like the rug was being pulled from underneath me. So let me explain. I was working with the company, been working with them for years, working as a nurse, and then once I got my psych NP, I stayed on the same job. Well, they were not willing, or let's say it like this. They didn't have a full-time position necessarily for me. And so they kind of kept me as like PRN part-time. And then it went from part-time to PRN. Then it went from PRN to maybe 1 to 3 shifts a month.
Oh, wow.
And so what are you going to do with that, right? So I felt like I was in my Job season for a while. I felt like everything got pulled. And I said, Lord, what shall I do at this point? Because it does not make sense to anybody that I know. Like, why can't you get anything else? Or why can't you get another job? Or this. And these young ladies here, we were all on the same boat.
Yes, that's why we're reacting like this, because like even when that's how I met Janobia.
Yes,
it was led through my career coaching, And then I told her what happened to me. A lot of people don't know I got laid off in September. And then she told me about Victoria, and I'm like, what is happening here? Something ain't right. And, you know, we talked a lot about that, about surrendering, not understanding why things are happening the way it's happening. Obviously, God is trying to lead us somewhere.
Correct.
Yes. And so it's like a big surrender. That's how Coterie was birthed. This is it. And surrender.
For sure.
What gaps in healthcare are you all solving together?
Nothing's going to be missed. Because
I did see something about holistic, right? Holistic care. Will you be doing any seminars or anything to help the community, you know, get on board with concierge service, you know, because some people really don't understand what concierge means.
Right, that word, right, that title.
Yes, ma'am.
So are y'all going to be doing some seminars, or how can our viewers get in touch with you ladies, you know, if they have any questions, or they may even have some examples they want to share?
Right. So our, which we put in the chat, but they can always get in contact with us at help@coterieconcierge.com by emailing us, as well as find us on our socials. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and Threads as Coterie Health Concierge.
Yes. Okay, so what makes partnerships strong and aligned?
Yeah, so what makes partnerships strong and aligned is just making sure you have that open communication. So it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, whether you're making a business deal, whether you are talking to your children, you have to have that open communication. It's so important, because if the communication fails, or there's lack thereof of communication, then that's where you're going to start having issues, and then you're going to wonder why, what happened. So I would say communication.
I agree. Being on the same page, being in alignment, which is basically what you asked, but being all on the same page and one accord.
And everyone playing their part where they have the greatest strength in. I think that works. We put people in positions where we know they're going to excel in. Because we all are different, but we all have one. It just works.
And our strengths, our different strengths. But,
So can you share some of your strengths with our viewers?
Yeah. Well, you go ahead, because I was going to say your strength.
I know my strength. We know our strength.
I would say my strengths are, I'm very down to earth, but I'm not afraid to be out in front of the camera. And so that's my strength, being able to talk to people and go out and do marketing and bring them in, you know.
Yeah. Anybody else want to talk a little bit about their strengths?
When you want a vision or you want something to be done, it's definitely when you come to me. I am very analytical. I can put 2 and 2 together real quickly and make it $1 million.
Yes. Wow. That's a boss move.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Innovate. Yeah. You see something.
And I believe my strength, I am a very empathetic person. I love to hear people out, and maybe that's why I am a psych NP, but I really do love to hear people out and to try to place myself in their shoes. And so that when I do give a response, it's a response to where I've taken in everything that they've said and kind of came up with a solution or actually heard them out. So I think that's one of my strengths.
Okay. So when we look at the different populations that we serve, and we look at the new generation coming in, what can you offer to the new nurses that are coming into the nursing field?
Get some experience.
Mm-hmm.
And dibble and dabble in more than one specialty. Really find your calling by really touching into it. You're gonna find it. Like I said, I started off, I never thought I was gonna be nothing else but an OBGYN nurse, labor and delivery. And then I went into leadership. And now I'm over here on the tech side of nursing. Mm-hmm. So when I said that find your niche, please explore every option. Don't put yourself in one box, because we're more than that.
And another thing too, I would say find a good mentor, because I know how it felt when I finished nursing school. I did go through a program, like a residency program, but I still felt like I needed that personal, like one-on-one with someone that I can call maybe after a shift. Hey girl, this is what happened. This is how I'm feeling. And at the time I really didn't have that. And I feel like, even though I am where I am, I feel like I could be much farther than where I am because of that. So I say a great mentor, find that one person that's willing to mentor you.
Because not everybody is mentor material.
Right.
And you have to find that piece of the puzzle that connects.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I would say, like, exploring different areas of nursing and being patient with yourself. Because when you first get into nursing, I remember when I was like, nursing not for me after the second week. I was like, maybe this wasn't for me, but you got to stick in it, and it's not going to always be rainbows and lollipops, and find dibble and dabble in everything, because believe it or not, where you start at and then where you continue to go, it's going to build a foundation. It's going to build upon. I look at that just in my career, like going from instructing and then going into tech. And then I'm like, wow, like everything just build upon. So always just be patient with yourself. Don't look at the nurses that's been in nursing for 5-10 years. I think a lot of nurses look at that and it's like they want to get there immediately. Right. I did. That's how I was, but you have to start and then gradually work your way, into where you want to be or wherever God decides to guide you.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about balance and burnout. How do you balance nursing, business, and your personal life without burning yourself out?
Yeah, I would say a calendar. So I still consider myself a new mother. My oldest is 2. And I like to tell that every time I talk to someone, my oldest is 2. And I have a baby that's 1. So I need a calendar. And Miss Janobia, before I had kids, she always had her calendar. She had all her stuff.
I have to balance it. I cannot function. You want me to be a career woman, a mommy, and a lover all at once? I have to.
Yes. I didn't understand it before I became a mom, but now I'm a mom of boys, whether it's boys or girls. But now I understand why she had her calendar. Yes, that's my answer.
I think what I would also say is make sure you have a big support system, because I was a little different. Like I went through that, having the little kids back to back, but then before that I only had 1, and so I always had a support system. That's what really helped me, because if it wasn't for them, I mean, who would keep the kids when I'm working late at night? Working hours, I'm having to stay late at work. So a support system is really good to prevent burnout, and also using your PTO. I think a lot of nurses forget to use their PTO.
Please use that time.
I understand, the nursing world is totally different when you're trying to request time off, but if you have a manager that understands that, let's keep it real. We all nurses, we know what that look like, making sure that you're using your PTO, because we take care of people, but we also get burned out, and we also got to keep ourselves healthy so that we can continue to care for others, whatever that look like. So definitely remembering yourself.
That leads us into this next question. The next question is, how do you recognize when it's time to rest versus time to push?
What's the first part?
It's how do you recognize when it's time to rest?
Rest.
Versus time to push, meaning to start getting down to the business and really, really, doing your marketing, doing your planning, and, trying to make everything come together?
I think knowing when to rest is listening to your body when you burnt out, because your body, as we know as nurses, is going to tell you when it's time to rest. And then when a lot of times you can get complacent or comfortable, and it's like, oh, well, I'll get to it. And you make up, excuses, you procrastinate. That's when it's time to get to it. Like, it's no games. It's time to get to it. Put the boots on the ground.
Ground.
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, in the business aspect, I like to think of it as, so people need to know who you are. People need to know how you can help them, right? Mm-hmm. And so in order for that to happen, people need to see your face, right? So that's how I know this is not time to rest necessarily. This is time to go ahead and put, like you said, boots on the ground. Let's go ahead and get the word out there, how we can help people, because we really do have a passion for it. But that's how I know, let's go, ladies. And then once things start picking up and, we're helping people along, then we can say, all right, let's take a little rest, but let's not forget to keep the momentum.
Okay. So let's talk about the CEO mindset. When do you stop seeing yourself just as a nurse and started thinking of yourself as a CEO?
That's good.
That's real good.
I mean, have y'all really, really sat down and said, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just bumping this nursing career up.
You have to shift your mindset. You really have to shift your entire mindset. And if you're sitting here thinking about just waking up and working, or do you want to wake up and have a purpose? And so that biggest shifts you from being just a worker bee to actually want to be a CEO, to make the change that you can. That's your purpose. So that was the biggest shift for me, because it's easy for me to get up and go get a job at the hospital. But if I want to make a larger change on a larger scale, I had to shift my mindset. So that's how I would explain it for myself.
And for me, so, going from being at the same company as a nurse into transitioning into the psych NP, that was a little hard for me because I dealt with some of the same patients I saw as a nurse. And then as a provider, I think I had to face it. And a lot of times once I heard the patients refer to me as such, then that's kind of when I had to start sitting up straight, like, okay, that is my role, right? So it didn't happen like that for me, but definitely has been a journey. And to say that now me and Lorna are co-founders of Coterie, I still have to say that today, because it's kind of foreign to hear that to me. So
I think, I feel like I had that mindset for a long time. I always felt like it was something more. I always wanted to do nursing. That's been my passion since I was a child. But it's like more. It's something else there. Like, I want to help people in a different way. I want to create legacy, like you say, in a different way. I want to create a table for nurses in a different way. And so that's what put me into that mindset. I said, well, if I see something I want to fix, then I have to do it. I can't wait for anybody else to do it. And so I had to change my mindset to like, girl, you got to do this.
Yes.
Like,
Amen.
You got the gift. You have to use your gifts. So, yeah.
Well, I want to tell you ladies that you ladies are sharp. You're on point, as the little kids say. I just want to say that I have just enjoyed listening to each and every one of you. I want to thank you for coming tonight. Is it anything that you want to say that could change one nurse's life tonight? What would it be?
Never give up.
I was just going to say.
Never give up.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't stop.
Keep going.
That thing that's waking you up and sitting there, all that problem you see, because we know we see it every day as nurses. Like, keep at it.
Yeah, no fear.
Mm-hmm.
No fear.
And even when you had that feel, like, push
keep
through
moving.
it.
Just do it.
Keep moving.
Right, Nike.
Yes, keep moving.
Yes.
Okay. This is for each of you. I want you to finish the sentence. Nursing changed my life because.
That's good.
I was able to touch souls.
Okay.
For me, because I was able to dig deep with each and every patient.
And I could say nursing changed my life because I was able to be there with patients during their most vulnerable time. And I feel like that impact, that will change their life, as the reason why Victoria wanted to become a nurse, because she saw how well a nurse took care of her grandfather.
Yeah.
So I feel like, Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell y'all mine. Don't laugh about it, but nursing changed my life because I got to play 26 years with all these little babies, and most of them right now are young adults that I get to go back and tell them the stories about how they used to say the same word over and over and over and over, and like stop, and now they're speaking full sentences and they're up and moving around. That's what I want to say to change my life, is to see that no matter what those obstacles are, that with much prayer and the happiness of nurses, us sharing our love with all of our patients, how they propel and do excellent.
I love that. That is beautiful. I've seen some of my patients. I'm like, you big, you 18, like that's a beautiful feeling. Yes.
This is like one of the most this is like coming down to the end. What does legacy mean to you in one powerful sentence?
Impact for generations.
She on point. It's just like I say something and it just flows. See, this is what I'm talking about. People don't know the power of nurses. I mean, we be like on point.
Yes.
Mine is similar, creating sustainability throughout generations as well.
Yes, because generations, that is one of the pieces that we're working on now, is working on that generation and creating a legacy so that the younger people that are behind us can come up and make such a big difference in the world.
Mm-hmm. And I would say mine would be the same, improving. Every generation is more improved.
Yes.
So instead of generation curses, it's generation of healing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it anything that you ladies that I forgot to ask a question about, or something that you want to share with the audience?
One of the things I, just want to share, just to inspire, other nurses, whether you're LPN, RN, whatever, don't give up on your dreams. And don't let anyone tell you that what you can't do or that something hasn't been created. Because what we're doing here with Coterie, this really hasn't been done before. And so that's why we're stepping out on faith and saying, you know what? We got to do this. Even though it has not been done this way, we shall do it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes, amen and amen. This is what it looks like when nurses stop waiting and start building. Mm-hmm. And what you ladies have built is going to be a legacy, and you are the starters of
Pioneers.
concierge services
Yes.
that's going to be taking this world by storm.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. You heard it here first.
Yes.
yes, heard it here first. And I am here to thank you ladies for coming on to the Blue Square Club show. I enjoyed your company. I'm quite sure that everyone will enjoy this segment. And if you guys want to come on again, like for a grand opening, just let me know, and we'll see how we can, share your grand opening throughout, all over social media, so it'd be popping.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for this
much.
opportunity as well.
Okay, so we're coming down to a close. I want to thank everyone that joined today, whether you joined or whether you're going to go back and do the replay. I just want to let y'all know this is the first concierge services that is going to be sweeping the nation. And let me tell you, the blueprint is only in these three ladies' hands. So
You're
if
correct.
you want that blueprint, you got to tap into it. They done left their everything down here. So, they tell them again how they can get in touch with you. So you got the blueprint.
So they can find us on our socials on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, Coterie Health Concierge. You'll see it going across the bottom of the screen, as well as emailing us at help@coterieconcierge.com.
Okay, thank you.
And also they can find us with the by clicking on a link for the health risk assessment. It will take them directly to us.
Oh wow. See guys, you never know what you're going to get until you come and just listen to the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.